All right, so this is the first roundtable discussion with some of the graduating class of 2020, some of our sport management majors. So today we're here to talk about how the COVID-19 pandemic really impacted us. So today I have with me Nick.
I'm Nick Schiccherini. I hope to be the Director of Corporate Partnership for a professional sports team.
I'm Cecilia Procopio, and I hope to be in events for a professional team.
I'm Mike Bonfield, and my dream job is to work for a social media team for a professional sports team or organization.
I'm Ender Gonzalez. I hope to work for an NBA team, player personnel, or management team.
And I'm Mally Bugna. My career goal is to be a special events coordinator for a professional team.
So as we know, New York State had the most cases when COVID-19 first came here. And we were all on spring break. We knew a little bit before we left for spring break that we were going to have an extra week, but I personally didn't think that we would never have in-person classes again for the rest of the semester. So how did you guys feel about having the semester cut short? Anybody?
It was definitely tough because, me personally, I loved my classes. I love seeing my professors every day. And just to have all that taken away, I kind of felt like that last bit of college I had left was just taken away from me. So that was kind of tough, especially moving in with my parents again was also a little rough at first, but you had to deal with it.
The thing that sticks with me the most, I would say, is we all left for spring break, and there's kids at school that you just see on campus, and when you're at school, there's some people that you will probably never see again because it just there's no way. Does anybody else have?
Yeah, for
me. Oh, you want to go, Mike?
It doesn't matter.
Go, Mike. You
okay.
go.
Okay. So for me, I think the biggest thing is it's almost like unfinished business. You have fun in college and everything like that, and you're gonna miss that aspect of it too. But you grind for 4 years, and you're up at 2 a.m. stressing those assignments and those late papers or studying for your finals, and you put all this work in. You know what I mean? And me and I feel like all of us, we really deserved it. We really deserved to be able to get the ceremony and to be able to finish and have the last memories with all the people we've made so many memories with. Because like you said, Arianna, there's most of these people it's sad to say, but we're probably just never going to see again. And you go from seeing them on a regular basis, whether it's out socially or in class academically, and it's just really rough and it's tough to process. I still will wake up some mornings and just can't even believe that this happened.
I wake up some mornings and I feel that I am going back in the fall to finish. Sometimes I feel like I didn't even accomplish anything. I feel like I didn't.
I know, yeah, me too.
Mally, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I was going to say initially, hearing the news that we got that additional week of spring break, we were all like, this is awesome. We get an extra week off. We're really going to enjoy this. Mm-hmm. And then after the fact, we were like, oh my God, wait, does this mean we're never going back to class? And we always, it's that 8 a.m. You complain all semester long. And then the second you're like, wait, I don't have to go back. What are you talking about? I didn't finish. I hated it, but I want to go.
Right.
And it took a lot. Even Ari and I lived together. We went back up after and finished the semester out in our lease. But waking up every morning and not going to class was so weird. We were what do we do all day? We have nothing to do.
Class on Zoom.
And it was hard to process. Yeah, it was hard to process having to have even in strategic, have those critical thinking conversations over a computer screen. It didn't give me the same feeling as if we were all sitting in the room together. And it still being home is still why did that happen? Why did it happen to us?
Right.
Kind of thing.
Right. And I think we all
it's really sad.
We all did strategic. So Ender did your internship in the spring, this past spring, but
Yeah.
all of us, we were still in classes. So we had strategic this spring, and even doing like our group projects and presenting on Zoom. That was weird in itself. That was
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know, like the whole thing with like Zoom was kind of tricky because it's like it's already uncomfortable dealing with everything emotionally, and then now you have to somewhat adjust to professors like making all these assignments. Like I feel like I get it, professors want to make sure you guys understand the content and be prepared, but at the same time they have to bear with you guys
Be
also.
engaged.
right.
I got lucky enough that I took it the semester before this madness happened. So, I was able to present in front of people and, it's normal. But presenting on Zoom is kind of like, there's no like originality to that. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I just feel like I get it, the content part, but I just feel like that was bad. But, with, as far as internship goes for me, like it was great because I was making such like good process. I was learning so much.
Mhm.
And then come to find out, next thing you know, oh, well, Ender, you don't have to come back. You passed. And it's just like, what? Like, what just happened? Like, I was coming back. Like, I already had started, like, applying for jobs and had a couple interviews set up. And the next thing you know, like, all of that just, like, got canceled. And now I'm, like, in a bubble. It was just like, oh, whenever this is over, then I'll start applying. Or what happens now? Like, you know what I'm saying? So.
And it's tricky for us being in the sports world, graduating with a sports degree when there's no sports. And, the MLB is starting back up soon, but, how
Trying
long,
to.
right,
Yeah,
how
trying
long
to.
is it going to actually be okay? Because you see all these teams have cases at their spring training facilities. And for us, it's hard because, we're going to be fresh out of college. And it's like, are they really going to, it's going to be difficult for us. So,
Yeah.
so Ender did his internship in the spring. So Ender had one. And I know Nick, Cecilia, and Mally landed an internship. Great job for you guys because I applied to like 19 different ones and it was stressful. Mike, you are still looking, correct?
Yeah, so like I said before, I mean, I had one with the Staten Island Yankees set up, single A minor league baseball, but no season. And the problem is Major League Baseball is still able to try to continue and go forward with the season because they have these TV and media contracts where they'll generate some kind of revenue. But minor league baseball generates almost all of their revenue through the gate and ticket sales and concessions.
Right.
So without fans, and there's not going to be fans allowed, without fans, the entire sport of minor league baseball is in jeopardy. And it's just a shame because I feel like that's where so many college graduates fresh out of college get their internships and have that opportunity to learn in that like professional environment. And it's just a shame. It's just, and I'm applying, and it's so hard because, there's just nothing going on. So it's just really, really tough.
Cecilia, do you want to talk a little bit about like since COVID, what is your internship like? Because I know you're working with minor league baseball, correct?
Yeah, so my internship, I still have it. Like I never lost it. They were still on board with giving me things to do regardless of what it is. So for the time being, what they have me and a couple of the other interns doing is just basically coming up with social media content ideas. So, and even that is just like, you have to take your way of thinking of like what you want to do on social media, especially like, I mean, all of us in the sport world, what you want to do is you want to promote your fans and you want to promote them at the games or, do Instagram lives and, locker room chats and like all of those different things. And now it's just, you can't do that anymore. You have to take social media and like create a whole new like way of doing it because nobody's in the locker room. There's not fans at the stadium to interact with like a mascot or, the players themselves and, family or theme nights are no longer a thing. Like, it's just, how are you going to still get people to, I mean, it's not even like major leagues can at least broadcast their games and minor leagues can't. I mean, you don't really have TV rights or media or anything like that. So it's just coming up and like picking my brain and all the other interns' brains about what we're going to do. And now we've added TikTok as a new social media thing. Like, what do we even do with that? Like,
a lot of famous people here on TikTok, bro.
It's just crazy. I don't know. When I'm not with the players to like and do really anything. And
It's tough. Yeah, I can only imagine.
it's a whole different
Right.
thing.
Now that you're working as well with minor league, is yours kind of the same as that? Or
Yeah, they actually started a couple weeks ago. They decided to keep their entire 2020 intern class. So it's probably about, I think it's like 23 or 25 of us or something. And we basically, it's kind of just like how class was. We have Zoom meetings.
right.
We have like a Facebook group that we like communicate through. And it's Zoom meetings on brainstorming how we can get fans to interact through social media. And we do a lot of like different brainstorming things. They broke us up into different like departments. So I'm part of like the box office intern group, and then there's marketing and promotional team. So they kind of split us up to teach us a little bit of everything. Last week we did finally get to go to the stadium to play some like the games that they play. They usually play in between the innings of real baseball games. Like the interns do all those fun, like in between inning things. And we recorded those because last night we actually just aired on Facebook Live our like opening night.
Mm-hmm.
So it was basically like what opening night would have been had the Renegades played at Dutchess Stadium been open. So it was like an hour and a half event live streamed through Facebook, and it was really cool. It was a bunch of different like things edited together from the marketing and promotional team, and it was fun to put together. And they tried to get us to interact and like come together and be a group, but
Right.
it is a lot of just
It's
online
different like that. Yeah.
brainstorming.
So I have to go back and ask everybody, how did you guys feel about not having a ceremony, not being able to walk across that stage, you know, celebrate all the accomplishments, like Mike was saying, you know, you wake up and you do everything for 4 years, and then to not get that ceremony, how did that make you guys feel?
Heartbroken.
That's a perfect way to put it. Heartbroken for sure.
The day
I
of
think
it,
I cried myself to sleep a couple nights because of it.
yeah, that was hard. I
To
mean,
be
I
honest,
was up there.
like
I was up there in Cortland, let's say like the Saturday we would graduate, and I live on Clayton, so on Clayton you can see like all like the parents and everybody just like seeing us. So like I went upstairs and I called my mom and I just started crying, and I just like I'm not like a big emotional person, so when I cry about something I'm like really like feel strong for it. So when I started crying, she's like, "So like you're just gonna start crying," and she starts crying, and then now just like we're both emotional because I went to 2 schools, like this is my second one, and Cortland felt more like a home to me than my other school. And for my other school, I didn't get to graduate, even though I had finished all my, class and everything. I just got the diploma because I graduated in December. So, there's no ceremony for that.
Right. Yeah.
I was banking on this to be like the big, big celebration, like 2 degrees, like, and just go ready for the world. And now it's just like, oh my God, like everything just hit me so hard because like there's so many banquets, so many like adventures with my friends that I missed on, and now I'm kind of like, hey, like, well, we could have done it, but we did it. So it's
Right.
like it was like reminisce on the time, and
I know
it
that
was tough, man.
Saturday morning when it was supposed to be our graduation day.
I
graduation.
call it our shining moment, to be honest.
I woke up and I was so emotional that morning. So it was just like, it is heartbreaking. You're right, Mally. Like that's a perfect way to describe it. Nick, you have any feelings?
I mean, I don't know. Like when I originally got the news, I wasn't too upset. I mean, I wasn't too big on graduation and all that stuff. Like even in high school, like I mostly wanted to do it for my mom, like, cause I just wanted to give my mom like, the chance just to see me walk across the stage that I graduated college, like, and I accomplished that.
Right.
Because my mom's just like an emotional person, so she would have loved it. But then like I was like whatever. But now like a couple weeks down the road, like it was definitely tough because like it's tough to think that we're gonna be the class that's remembered for that, and like I didn't get the same.
We'll go down in history.
I didn't get the same experience that my sister did, or like any of my other family members did, like graduating college and being able to walk across the stage and receive your diploma. And like, we're going to be the one class, like, I don't know how long that's never going to be able to experience that. But, so yeah, it's definitely tough now. But I mean, again, like, it's just something we have to live with. So, I mean,
So with that being said, do you think that COVID-19 has taught you guys anything?
Yes.
Patience.
yeah.
Like, I think I can make the, like, the advocation. I'm probably the number one most impatient person. Like, I'm like a fast results kind of guy. Like, I want it and I want it now. And it's like, this thing has just told me, like, to just be cool, like, just calm down and everything will play itself out. Like, for example, you had mentioned how we had the worst cases, right? So if you look at it now, we got the best, ratio as far as not having a lot of cases.
Right.
Hospitalizations are down, deaths are down. So if you look at that, like, we made so much progress from being the epicenter of the whole thing to now becoming the best state in the nation. So that, at itself, I'm just looking at, like, you just have to be patient. And I think we're going to bounce back even stronger from this. But overall, I would just say just patience and just wait.
Let's pray there's not a second wave.
Yeah,
it's happened in Florida. It's going to happen in Florida.
Yeah,
for sure.
Florida's awful.
I
The
agree with them.
Carolinas, everywhere.
Going into this, like, I was definitely, like, extremely impatient about everything. Like, even, like, and I can say during that time, like, waiting to find out if I was still doing my internship, like, just, like, and that was the part for me, like, where I just wanted to know whether so I can decide, like, if I just want to find another one or if I'm just going to wait until the fall, just look in the fall.
Right.
But I definitely learned, like, patience because, so that was nice. I definitely also learned that I definitely want to move out as fast as possible after all this, and I don't want to live at home for too long.
Yes.
So
Preach,
that was a valuable lesson.
I keep reminding myself that, I sit and I get down about having the semester cut short, not having a graduation, but we're not the only ones. There's kids all across the country that are going through this, and, even high schoolers and every other college, everyone's going through it. It's just, like we said, the class of 2020 will go down in history for sure.
For me, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, because, like, everyone was talking about, like, gaining patience and stuff. But for me, what I've learned from this whole thing more than anything is, like, appreciate what you have while you have it, because literally at any moment it can get taken away. So, like, whether it's your family, because, like, I hate to say it, but I feel like everybody knew somebody who was affected by this disease.
Yep.
Or it's appreciate the fact that you're away at school, like the fact that you're even able to be away at school. And those mornings when you look and it's a blizzard and it's 0 degrees and you got to take the bus to professional studies and you want to do anything except that. But, like, one day you're not going to be able to do that anymore. So, like, for us, it got cut short, and I just, more than anything, learned to appreciate what you have while you have it.
I agree with that too. It's just, for me, it was different.
That makes my heart beat really fast.
No, mine too, because I literally, like, my season was supposed to start, like, being a lacrosse player.
The sport, okay.
In the spring.
Yeah.
It's just like graduation for us,
That's
like,
right.
being a lacrosse player, and I don't know if any of the other spring sports are like this too, but we actually, being on a lacrosse team and all of the girls, the 20 years that we've won SUNYX in a row before us, we've never actually attended graduation. There has never been one women's lacrosse player who's gone to graduation. We've always been playing for the SUNYX championship that day.
Okay.
So we always have graduation at a later date, just with President Bitterbaum, our team, and the girls who are graduating. And instead of putting on, like, fancy dresses and all that, we wear our uniforms, our home team uniforms. And it's kind of like a last, this is the last time we're going to get to put on this jersey. This is the last time. And, like, especially this year, because we got new t-shirt jerseys that we were all super excited about. And now, like, we didn't get to wear those. And this team had, like, a huge chemistry. I mean, in the fall, we played 2 D2 teams and we beat them. And it was just like, we knew that we were going to do great things, regain the SUNYX conference championship. And I think that, now it, like Mike said, not appreciating what you have, it's definitely something that we all just took for granted. Like, oh yeah, we don't go to graduation, we have our own separate one because we have a game day, or putting on the jersey and, like, those 5 a.m. lifts or practices, and Ender can probably, agree with that. It's just like going in every single day and you get into a routine and, practicing, in the cold and in the freezing temperatures and hating every 2-hour minute of it. It's just something that you take for granted, because even though we have the opportunity to go back and play the extra year if we wanted to, that's not in the cards for some people. So not everybody's going to do that. So we're not going to have the same team or the same chemistry like we did. And it's just something that I myself can say that I definitely took that for granted. And I am not going to do that anymore, regardless of, how cold it is outside in practice or how much I don't want to go to lift. It's just like, this season was taken and the graduation part of it was taken, and it's something that, like, no matter what, you're just never getting back, and it truly sucks.
I always am thinking about the college athletes, because I cannot imagine, like, especially with your senior year, like, no season. Ender, you played on the basketball team, but you guys were good, right? You guys didn't get short.
we lost in the first in the quarterfinals, so we didn't get to go that far. But either way though, it still sucked because we had our banquet coming up soon, and that's a time where all the seniors get to say their speeches and everything. And I had a couple things to get off my chest, so I feel like I never got that opportunity to do that. And not only that, I never got the opportunity to really close things out properly with my teammates. Even though I only played for Cortland 1 year of the 2 years that I was there, but I was still so thankful for the memories and how much my teammates celebrated, not only me but all of the seniors that were on the team. And I feel like we kind of left that foundation of, like, you guys see what can happen in the blink of an eye. So kind of just take everything, make everything matter from now on. So it was rough, but we were cleared out. We're not getting that year back. I hope I do. I'll go back to Cortland right now. If we get that year back, I'll be next. You'll see me in professional studies somewhere, even once a week.
When will you find out? Do you know?
Oh no, we're not getting it because we were done before everything. So we were plus we're a winter sport. We're not spring. So
right.
We'll be done when the spring starts. So like when it will start, we'll finish. So
I can't even imagine that. So does anyone have an opinion about what life will be like after this pandemic?
I think life is it's definitely gonna be, everything's gonna be different. I think everyone's gonna be a little bit more cautious now.
Yeah.
And frankly, until there's a cure, I don't think we're gonna go back to normal life. I think everything we're gonna do is gonna be regulated, and how we go about it. So I don't think anything is gonna be remotely similar to the way it was until the day that we find a cure that works. So, yeah, everything's just going to change for the worse, I think, until then.
It's like scary, you go out to the stores and see everybody in face masks, and it's different. It's so different. I mean, I don't even want to go, now we're in phase 3 where I live, and I'm like nervous. I don't even want to go out to the bars, or I'm nervous too. Like,
Yeah, me
this
too.
sense of fear. It's like, it's scary.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have an opinion about what life would be like?
Yeah. I think it's going to change a lot. I mean, even just like, so I graduated early, if you guys know. So I am going back for my master's, and I have the email chain for, being an athlete and what it's going to look like. And even just the training room aspect they have already talking about is change, like bringing your own water bottles and only using your own water bottles, having to fill it up yourself. Before you go into the training room, you have to get your temperature taken. And even just things like, I feel like the common cold or, normal is going to be, usually it's like, all right, you have a cold, good, get out there, practice, it's whatever. And now I feel like it's like, oh my gosh, you have the cold, you need to, make sure that you don't have any other symptoms, or you want to get today out, why don't you, taking so many more like precautions. And I think just our training group is going to change, and having a capacity of how many people can be in the training room at a time. I mean, usually that's filled with our football players, and overlapping seasons, and basketball's ending injuries, and lacrosse's fall ball starting injuries. And it's just like, I think we're really going to be utilizing, the park stadium training room, and also the actual stadium training room that only was ever really used on game day for games out there. And I feel like now we're going to have to go back and forth between the two because you need more space. And even with classrooms, like, are we going to have to sit, with a seat in between each person in class? And are most of them going to be online unless you are biology and you have a lab and then you have to go in there? But I think it's just going to change everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like what we were talking about, they're going to have different groups come in one week, and then the following week it will be a different group. It's going to be tricky, and especially for me personally, I learn better being in the classroom and having someone right in front of me teaching things hands on. And the whole online thing is very tricky, and it's hard to get adjusted to, honestly. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting. So let's leave on like a positive note. So ask you guys, do you guys have a favorite memory being at SUNY Cortland?
Oh man. Overall,
I don't think there's one specific. Like you
I
could
don't think
pick and
there's one.
choose little things from here and there.
I don't know. I go top 5 for me, but if I had to pick my favorite memory though, I don't know. That's tricky. That's a tricky one. I might have to come back to you on that.
For me,
yeah.
is this like an academic memory or is this an
Academic,
overall
anything-
Cortland
anything
experience
Cortland.
memory?
For me,
All right,
I would just say it's the people. Whether it's the professors I've met, or Connie as the secretary of the sport management department, or all the friends that I've made, and just
oh man, what happened?
it's just unbelievable. Like these people, like we were talking about before, like you see these people on a regular basis. You've never met them before, and then you've known them for 1, 2, 3, or 4 years, depending on when you met them in college, and you become so close with them and have so many memories with them in the classroom, out of the classroom. And it's just amazing. Like, I'm from Staten Island, so like the city, and to go away to school and to, Cortland compared to New York City is just like totally different, like
I'm in Brooklyn, so
world.
I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely different, but I'm so
Oh,
grateful that I was able
it's
to
a
like
different world. Yeah.
experience the difference because, there was things in Cortland that like I wouldn't be able to do in Staten Island, and the people that I've met and the experiences, you can't even put it into words. Like, it's just unbelievable, but that's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Nick, do you have a favorite memory?
No. I mean, again, like they said, shut up, Sarah. It's really tough. It's really tough. It's tough to it's really tough to figure out which one, because like Michael said, like I've met my best friends here, like, and I'm probably gonna be friends with them forever. Like, you make so many experiences with these people that it's just so hard to put into words which one's your favorite, because you're just constantly doing different things and making more memories. So it's definitely tough, but I mean, I guess that's the point of college. Like, you're put in the position to make these memories and make new life experiences to change yourself. So I mean, there's really no favorite for me.
I mean, for me, it's kind of like, it's just so many. Like, I could go with friends. I could go with my housemates. But in reality, like, my main goal when I got to Cortland was to, like be on athletics and play ball for the team. My first year, I felt like short of that. But whatever, we're not going to talk about that. Anyways, but my second year, I was able to, get the nod. And it was such an unexpected thing for me because beginning of the year, I wasn't playing. And I just felt kind of like, why am I doing this? I could have been in an internship or something elsewhere. Like, I could have done this and that. But it's funny how God, this is a little story, so it might be a little long, but it's funny how God works sometimes, like in mysterious ways, because one of our star main players couldn't play because of grades. So like next up, it could have been anyone else, but they picked me. So I was like, all right, so then I got the start. So my first game, I played really well. And my second game, I had my career high. And we won the tournament. We were like the tournament champs, so they say. And then I'm thinking it's just like another regular thing. So my teammates are like really happy for me, but I don't know, because I'm just like, all right, this is another like regular day. Like, go back to the locker room, pack it up, and then go. So I walked in the locker room, and everybody just throwing water on me, like everybody just like jumping on me, like, oh, like you play so well. Like all the coaches are like smiling and happy for me because like they know that I work really hard for this, and then I go out there and perform, and then all my teammates were so happy for me. But
I even know you worked hard for that. I was
yeah,
so happy for you, Ender.
yeah, you know, because me and her are like, we have a close relationship, so with Molly. So I was like talking to these guys like, oh, I don't know if I want to like do this anymore, and we had this conversation going to class, and then, you know, fast forward to like December, I'm starting now. I started for the rest of the year after that. So it just shows that, you know, in Cortland, things is just unexpected. You never know what can happen, but I'm just thankful for that like specific memory, because it reminded me of like, yo, Cortland is a place like of just so many unexpected experiences, and I'm thankful for that.
I agree. Cecilia, do you have one?
We had Champ over here. I mean, come on, can I get a ring? T-shirt, come on.
There's so many. I mean, I guess mine would definitely just be like going off of what Mike said, and like how Cortland is just such, you know, a family atmosphere, regardless of what grade you're in or whether you're on a sports team or not. It's just like everyone is just so welcoming. And like for me, it was always scary because I was ahead of everybody else in my grade because I was graduating early. So, you know, I would have classes with, you know, Nick, or I would have classes with Mally, and like it kind of was intimidating having older people in my class and just being ahead of everyone. And I truly, honestly, Nick, will never forget the day we met, but it ended up turning out to be a great friendship because it was just nice to walk into class and have a familiar face that I saw, you know, from the first day in the dorms, and, you know, being a freshman and how scary it was, and just seeing Nick and just being like, okay, I know that kid. There's one kid that I already kind of am friends with in the class. And then, you know, just having someone in class like Mally with the huge personality that is just like so welcoming and nice. And it's just like, I've never met her before, and I just like walking the class and having her be like, hey, like, let's sit together, let's work on a project together. It's just like things like that I think happens at Cortland a lot. And that is just such like a, you know, like a family, like, you know, it doesn't matter what grade you're in, or whether you're on the lacrosse team, and or whether you're this or whether you're that. It truly doesn't matter, and everybody loves everyone there, and it's just everyone has each other's backs, and that is just something that I will always remember about Cortland itself.
I think that the sport management program, even all the students, I think, you know, you're in the classes with a lot of the same kids first semesters, and I think you just become so close with them, and you do build that friendship in the classroom. And, you know, Ender and I, we became friends in the classroom, and then whenever we would see each other downtown, it was like the best, you know? You do make these friendships, and they will last a lifetime. They will, for sure.
I would say that like the department itself, it's like a big cult. Like we're just all like, be like, oh, are you sport management? Oh, look, I took class with. Oh, what class you had? It's kind of like you could just go on. And I feel like in the real world, like we're gonna bump into each other some way somehow, and we're gonna come. Oh, remember when we used to go to Cortland? And like those are gonna be the conversations 5-10 years from now. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the sport management overall, like the program itself, brings us so close because it's like we're all in one building put together. And we all take the same classes with the professors over and over and over. So it's like, it's really good. It's really good. I really enjoy it, to be honest.
Do you have one, Mally?
Yeah. So this is like very specific in my brain, but I would have to say that my favorite memory is getting an A in Dodge's law class. Because Ari and I, and Nick, you were in our class too, right?
I was.
The three of us, and Danny.
Yeah, us four.
Was it not? Yeah.
I avoided him. I'm sorry.
Those nights.
Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah.
That class.
Ari and I lived.
Your brain.
Ari and I lived in separate houses, but we were up studying for every test. We were up until 3, 4, 5, even in the morning. We had that class at 8:30, and every morning we were there. And it was so stressful taking law with a full semester of other classes. Like it needed so much of your attention, and it like affected me mentally and emotionally. And to walk down the hill finals week after taking my last final of junior year and checking my grades and seeing that it was an A, like I cried walking. I was alone, but I was crying walking down
Yeah,
West
definitely
Court.
sitting in
Like
the
I
library.
couldn't contain it. It was an amazing feeling to know that how hard Ari and I worked and stayed up so late had paid off.
Hard work pays
Yeah.
off.
I can say the 12 hours us three and Danny sat in the library working on that 40-page paper was rough. That was definitely that class was definitely an experience.
But even
But it built us.
We could get into talking about
Like we have stories to tell.
And
oh yeah,
I feel this, finance. Everyone, finance.
No,
Jesus. Oh, God. that was another one.
No, finance.
Listen, if there's one class for sure I knew I was not gonna do well, it was that one.
It was
so bad
finance.
there, I said, listen, man. I walked into that class. I said, if I get a C here, I am the best. I am the absolute best. It was just like, I mean, some people did pretty well. I mean, kudos to them, but not I.
So does anyone have, what would be top favorite SPM class you ever took?
I'll say marketing with Dame Marie when she was in the department.
Oh,
I really enjoyed
marketing.
that class. Tamara, I forgot. She left actually. She's
Mahoney.
Now. No?
Mahoney. She's on sabbatical, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, it could be Fisher.
I mean, for
But
me,
he said Tara.
Nah, I took it with Tara.
Yeah, Tara Mahoney.
I actually got to study abroad.
Oh, really?
I went, yeah. So I went to Greece with the sport management department. After my sophomore year.
You went with George.
I went with George Rosinios and Biren and Fisher. And that was probably the best experience of my entire life. That was unbelievable.
How
and
much fun that was.
I am so glad that I jumped on the opportunity to do that, because realistically that was my only shot, because then junior year the trip got canceled, and senior year, of course, we all know what happened. So it would have been really easy for me sophomore year to just be like, okay, I'll just do it next year, and then there is no time, you know what I mean? So I was so thankful I was able to do that, and it was honestly the time of my life. It was incredible. It was incredible.
Cecilia, do you have a favorite class?
That's awesome.
I probably sport ethics, just because I liked the debates in that class. I think it was fun to see where everyone came from, especially when we debated about whether video games were considered
Sports or not.
So that was always fun.
Nick?
That's tough. I honestly any of the classes I took with Professor Seyfried, I would probably say are my favorite.
Really?
Or Professor Boris. I honestly, I loved strategic. I loved doing the case studies. I loved every part of that class. It was just I don't know. I just loved doing the case studies. Just doing the projects. I loved every second of that class. So that was probably my favorite class.
Oh God.
Mally, you have one?
It's so hard. I think it's a tie between ethics, because I took it with Darvin and I really liked her. And then I would say event management with Morris, the first level, not applied event management, because it's really I feel like it was that class that kind of helped me decide what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And then I came here sophomore year, Ender. I didn't come here fresh out of high school. I went to a school in Pennsylvania before I transferred sophomore year. And I took it spring semester of sophomore year. And I was like, I think I could do this. And it was it kind of was ooh, you have an interest. I think that you could pursue this. And I thank her all the time for that. So.
One that I sometimes forget, but he was one of my favorite professors, was Professor Forshee.
I love him.
Professor Forshee.
He's a smooth guy, man. I like his style, man.
He's so cute.
I like his style, man. he likes dealing with you ladies because he has like a lot of daughters, so it's like you can see how he will relate to you guys a lot.
Yeah.
We're kind of in the back of the room like, man. He was a really good teacher though. I'm not gonna lie. For like his specific, with video and everything, I think he was really good to be honest. Like with that, and he actually helped.
I'm not very technical, but he was good.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Yeah.
I don't know how some of you like.
I think I got like a B in the class or something.
It's definitely.
Yeah,
I don't know how I did that.
I probably got the same. No lie. Yeah, I mean I did pretty well on the final, so I. Yeah. But
overall, I think that Cortland gave me friends for a lifetime and put me in the right direction of, to start my career. And just like Cecilia, I'm going back to get my master's. And I know we were talking a little bit before that, everyone's kind of thinking about the master's sooner than expected because of everything going on because of the pandemic. And, I think Cortland is a great place. And even if you have to stick out one more year, then Cortland's where it's at, I feel like.
Worth it.
Absolutely.
I'm going to come up and visit you guys all the time, so be ready.
Yeah, you'll see me.
Well, thank you guys so much for doing this. I appreciate you all for taking the time to do this. It's sad that we got our semester cut short, but I know that we will all stay in touch and everyone has a very bright future ahead of them. So I have no doubt
Agreed.
we'll all be successful.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having
Thanks for asking us to be a
I
part of
love
this.
you guys.
Thank you guys.
Final remark though. Final remark.
Yes, final remark, Ender.
The sport management program has to do a better job of showcasing the other students that may not have main internships for the strength of that we all work as hard and as and as much as the other ones. I feel like a lot of students on LinkedIn or other platforms get like really like great media coverage, which is great. Like there's no problem with that, but I feel like you got to show some more love to all the other ones too because we work the same way. But we can get into that in another conversation. But I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yes, of course.
Good luck to everybody.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you all and best of luck to you all in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.